just recently we was in Keighley, and on our way back home we were passing through Bingley, so we decided, seeing it was such a nice day, that we'd call it the Five Rise Locks. Now, it's quite a few years since we've been here, and not too long ago there's been quite a lot of restoration done on the locks, various repairs, and at one point the locks were drained so that the public could actually walk through them and have a look inside the actual locks themselves. And the only problem going along on this pathway is that it can be very, very rough, and if you're in a wheelchair or using a stick or walking sticks, it can be a little bit tricky, and some areas of the path are really bad. Elizabeth was having a tough time actually on here, but we got there eventually. There's quite a variety of barges along this stretch of the canal as you approach the locks. I don't know whether some of these are actually homes what people live permanently in, but they're very interesting. Now this is a particularly bad area, so as I mentioned before, anybody with a wheelchair or crutches or sticks just got to take care. The views from the canal side were spectacular over the countryside, and it's lovely. There we are, some more barges all moored up, and motorboats. I believe there's one or two boats for sale. Now we're approaching the top end of the locks. Over there's a very, very nice cafe where you can get various drinks and food. It's a popular place with cyclists, is this, and people just walking along the canal. And the information board there. There's the lockkeeper's lodge. So it's a little bit tricky in parts, as I say. There's a nice area where you can actually sit down and watch the world go by. This is the swing bridge, by the way. And there's the top lock. Well, if you're coming up to the lock, I should say, from the bottom end, it's quite a steep walk up at this short section. There we get a view of the top lock there. Interesting, these stone blocks secured with these steel bars. And there you can get a good idea of the depth of these locks. Very deep. And there's a view down the locks, down to the bottom, quite steep. Now I'm just making my way down to the next set of locks. A little bit of care again required going down these steps. Amazing construction when you look at the curves there, the care that's gone into the appearance of these locks, and I would imagine it adds a lot of strength as well. The five rise locks opened on the 21st of March 1774, and it was at the time a major feat of engineering. When the locks and therefore the canal from Gargrave to Thackley was opened in 1774, there was a crowd of 30,000 people turned out to celebrate, and the first boat to use the locks took just 28 minutes, and the first trip was described in the Leeds Intelligencer. The smaller Bingley three-rise locks open at the same time, and these are just a few hundred yards downstream. I'm now down at the other set of locks there, the same design in architecture. Still lots of these big blocks are tied together with iron bars. Well, that could be hard work pedalling up this section. And once again down the steps to the next set of locks. So we get lower and lower down to the canal bottom. And again the iron or steel bars which secured in these large blocks of stone together. There's a view of the mechanism. Looks like this chap's had second thoughts about pedalling up the hill. And that's the bottom lock. I shall just now once again go down the steps and make our way down to the first set of locks on the five rise. There's the same curved stonework. There's a view of the overflow on the left. Well, I'm now back on the top lock. I'm just going to have a word with my good lady Elizabeth, who's been patiently waiting there for me. So unfortunately she can't walk down these locks anymore. She has done in the past, but she can't now. Why do people throw litter about when there's a litter bin? Just litter all over the floor there. It's just, there's no excuse for that. You can get some spectacular views from this high point on the locks. The surrounding countryside, it's beautiful. And there's one of the lock keepers working away, getting ready for a canal boat to come up the locks. Now the 5 rise is the steepest flight of locks in the UK, and it has a gradient of 1.5. That's a rise of 59 foot 2 inches or 18.03 metres over the distance of 320 feet. That's 98 metres. Now the intermediate and bottom gates are the tallest in the country, and because of the complications of working a staircase lock, and because so many boaters, both first time hires and new owners, are inexperienced, they have a full-time lock keeper who is employed, and the locks are padlocked out of hours. Now the locks also have an overflow waterfall at the side, which allows water to run down when the lock is not open. When a descending boat enters each lock chamber, the water level rises slightly, and the excess overflows via a channel at the side of each lock, which runs into the main overflow. The structure is Grade 1 listed. Well, there's the first of the 2 boats which are going to make their way to the top of the locks. There's another view of the overflow, which is running quite fast. And the boat's about to pass through these gates. It's very heavy, and I don't think you'll be able to open these gates, but they're not that difficult to open. The foot grips in the ground make it a little bit easy to pull on these gates, so it makes it a little bit easy to open. A couple of years ago we hired a barge at Skipton, and was hoping to get up into the Dales through Gargrave area, but unfortunately bad weather, high winds, it prevented us from going up that way, so we had to go the opposite way. But we didn't encounter any locks, just swing bridges. It was a very enjoyable experience. and I'm hoping to do it again. It's very pleasant on a barge on a canal. And on the particular day we did hire a barge, it was a family experience, and we were celebrating my sister's birthday, so it made it all the better. Well, it's just one more after this, and they are at the top of the locks. Quite an involved process when you look, filling one lock and then emptying another, and then closing the gates and opening the gates. It's not easy. Here's another view of the overflow, the building at the top of the lock. I think this must be the lock keeper's watch. I'm just making my way back now to watch the final arrival of these two barges. And Elizabeth there patiently waiting, although she is enjoying the fine weather. Well, now the boats are in the last lock, and then they're on the top after this one. Well, this little fella looks lost. Let's hope he gets out of the way before these boats get to the top. Now here come the first of the two barges emerging at the top lock. Now we're just at the moment sat outside a little cafe enjoying a cuppa, and it's a nice place to sit on a day like this, and you can get various meals in this cafe, and it's definitely well worth a visit if you're around the canal area. And it's really a good viewing area to watch all the barges coming up and down on busy summer days. It's not as busy today as it normally is, but through the summer it can be very busy up and down this section. You can't beat a nice cup of tea, especially on a beautiful day like this. Just sat relaxing and watching the barges.
Just down here. I'll see you down there, love, alright? Where's John? No idea. Water down there.
Well, I believe that were the last of the barges coming up now. The swing bridge being closed by one of the lock keepers. Well, I hope you found this of interest. If you're interested in canals and canal barges, I'm sure you found it useful. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching.